Welcome to Module 6, Calibration of SLO Review, Part 4 of 4. Calibration Exercise 3 is an activity to establish cross-district, or cross-school in cases of large schools, comparability across and within content areas for SLOs. The point of Exercise 3 is to ensure comparability in the way that SLO criteria in each of the 7 components are being interpreted across content areas and grade levels. The intended audience should be adapted to meet district needs. The format of the exercise can be a convening of all SLO reviewers in a district, in person or in webinar, or it can be subgroups or representatives from each content area. It may also be that this exercise is used as a district audit of overall SLO quality. Calibration Exercise 3 should be completed after Calibration Exercises 1 and 2 have taken place. To complete the activity, access handout 6.10, which can be found online adjacent to this video, as well as sample SLOs that are described. After all review committee members have participated in calibration exercises 1 and 2, representatives or content area groups can select a sample SLO that they feel is generally representative of the group of SLOs that they reviewed. For this exercise, each representative or content area group should have a way to present their sample SLO to the group. In person, this may be a projector or electronic whiteboard, or screen sharing capability if conducted over webinar. Then, all content area groups, or the representative, should present their sample SLO one component at a time and explain to the group members why they found each criterion to be met or unmet. For example, all content area groups would begin by presenting the baseline and trend data component before moving on to any other component. Each group would explain why the group considered each criterion met or unmet in that component in their representative sample SLO. Each group should gain feedback from other content area groups regarding agreement or disagreement with their decisions in that component. If these discussions with the full group result in a need to amend the review of additional SLOs in the content area to ensure consistency and comparability across SLOs, additional time may need to be scheduled outside of this meeting to complete these changes. In the standards and content component, for example, the whole group would have a chance to assess whether coverage of applicable standards is generally comparable across different content areas, or whether some content areas are tending to cover a wider breadth of standards than other content areas. After this has been accomplished, the last step in the review process is to finalize the SLO approval status and accompanying rationale form, which is handout 6.4, and the SLO feedback form, which is handout 6.3 for each SLO. Then submit these forms to each teacher or teacher team, making sure that feedback is consolidated and is not conflicting. After issuing the feedback documents to teachers, anticipate that a cycle of review and revisions may be necessary to strengthen all SLOs. Be certain to track the date each SLO was returned to the teacher, whether approved or not approved. Also, provide those teachers who need to make revisions to their SLOs with a specific resubmittal date, and track these SLOs through their final approval. Make sure that all teachers and reviewers manage this process with the final date in mind for when all SLOs should be approved. Remember that each teacher should receive 2 documents to verify that the SLO is fully approved: a completed 1-page checklist indicating that all criteria are met, as well as a completed SLO approval status and accompanying rationale form, indicating that the SLO is fully approved. This concludes Module 6. For more information on student learning objectives or other student growth measures, please visit the Ohio Department of Education's website at www.education.ohio.gov and search Student Learning Objectives or Student Growth Measures.